Thank you.
We've got a quorum. We're gonna go ahead and start. Well, are we officially going?
We're officially going.
We are gonna go ahead and begin the February 9th, 2026 USD 105 school board meeting. We're gonna start with 26081, approval of the agenda. Is there any changes to be made?
No.
Okay. Good job.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Okay.
Second.
There's it's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor? All opposed? Okay, motion carried. Open forum. I heard a door. That's from Megan's Ghost Rider. Okay, we're gonna move to 26083. Discussion and action with consent agenda. There's approval of minutes from the January 19th, 2026 regular meeting, and then payments of claims. Is there any discussion on either one of those?
I didn't see anything in the payments that was
Okay.
out of whack. Everybody else good?
Eric, does that, bill from McCown Gordon, does it break down, what the billing is for?
Yeah, on their bill. I mean, it's mostly items that
Scared the crap out of me.
Yes.
Plumbing, which was all of their plumbing material. So we have every bit of plumbing material on the project stored. We also have the remainder of all of the rooftop units. So we have 100% of all of our RTUs. We have all of our kitchen hoods, everything mechanically, as far as equipment wise, is in stock. So a lot of that, or most of that, is stored material. The other large portion of that is HME steel. So they have areas C and D, which is the classroom wing. All of that steel is complete, and that was the other large chunk of that. But I'd say 90% of that is all stored material.
That answers my question.
And Terry, if you want to look at invoices in the invoices folder in the shared drive.
Trying to get a gas mask to get rid of the fumes.
No, don't smell it. Okay. Is there any discussion or a motion to be presented?
I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
I second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All in favor? All opposed? Are you good?
No, just
You
raise
raised
my
my hand.
hand.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right. I'm so sorry, Terry. Okay, we're gonna move to 048 or 084. Sorry, turn that around. Atwood Ambassadors, Mr. Beerley. Hey.
Yeah, I'm president of the Atwood Ambassadors, and I was almost as late as Tom. We had a really good problem last year, and we had an excess of vendors for Rod Run, and luckily a few of us got with Eric and some other people and was able to get some vendors put down the bus alleyway down here. We're coming to you tonight to see if maybe we could pre-approve that in case it happens again this year. We've already had quite a few vendors sign up for Rod Run We have a new website, new Facebook group, so, vendors has been getting hit pretty hard. We were kind of questioning whether we might be able to actually use the south playground and put vendor food trailers around the outside of the playground, for more, to make it look better than just having them down the bus alleyway.
The only thing I would have an issue with that is if it rains a lot.
Yeah.
Because that we are using that for junior high practice plus playground.
Yeah, but I mean,
Where-
it would be
where
the
does the
last
sprinkler
week of
system-
school, or school would be out by then.
Yeah, it is on the
It's around that
northeast
north
portion,
side.
like right half of it.
But it's right there by the fence is where it starts.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Okay. We're talking about the sprinkler
Sprinkler
system.
No, there is a sprinkler system out there.
Yeah, but it should be pretty, I don't know how far.
I would think
Is
it
there any
would
in
be
the
a,
middle?
huh?
Is there any in the middle? I've never seen it run. I don't know.
Yeah, there's some in the middle.
Is
I
there?
wonder if we could mark it.
Flag 'em.
Yeah.
I don't know why you couldn't flag them.
Yeah.
I just was thinking that way we don't run over them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that.
Rob would appreciate that.
So that was our only question, if we could get that pre-approved or authorized to use that, so we're starting Friday night or Saturday morning at Broadman to. So, that's the only thing I'm here for.
Anybody have a problem with that?
Are you good with that?
Good with it.
Have Rod mark them the last couple days of school.
Mhm.
Yeah, it would, I mean, it would be
Yeah.
nice to have them heads marked, so.
Yeah.
we
Okay.
can run them over, and if that's a problem, we can do it right down the bus line again, if that's.
I don't care if they're on there, like I
Still,
said.
Sam, when the move buses that morning, would.
I mean, to be fair, if it brings rain,
Well,
Yeah.
Usually they're under
it's usually right around weekend anyhow, yeah, I know. Okay, do you want a motion for that?
Do you need a motion or can you just approve it and go?
I can just
You just
approve
prove
it.
it? Okay, good.
I'm
Okay.
good with that too.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
Okay, we're gonna move on to 26085, old business discussion and action update on the construction project. What?
Chandler, are
These
you gonna?
things are still-
Go ahead.
They do something.
I'm gonna take the edge off anyway.
Yes.
Not very easily, but
You're moving.
it's there.
We got a copy and
Yeah, we
you
do have
Oh, yeah,
papers.
we have that in front of us, yeah.
Driven by the site, you've seen we do have a building, the structure standing right now. We are currently working on miscellaneous metal installs. So welding off everything. We're installing kind of our lintels and everything. That's not the large main steel. So it's a lot of detail work right now. So that's looking what they're working on for the next, I believe we're targeting the 12th for metal decking to start, which will be the following Miss Metals. So as soon as they're done welding off and getting everything inspected there, they will move to our metal decking that if you've driven by, you've seen it's kind of stored up on second floor. It'll also be going up on the roof. So as soon as we have that completed, that'll take them a few days to do both second floor and the roof. There are some additional Miss Metals that go on top of the metal decking, so a few days prepped on that as well. But as soon as we have slab on metal deck, which is second floor, with that decking down, we will move to plumbing, electrical, and mechanical rough-in. We're targeting the week of February 23rd for them to start. So really, they'll be going in, prepping any holes where we need to pass electrical or plumbing through from first floor to second floor. Any line sets, plumbing lines, anything like that will be going through. So as soon as they're laid out, got their material installed, we will then prep for slab on deck. So that'll be the concrete pour up on second floor. So, and then as soon as we have the concrete on second floor, we will start exterior metal framing. That will start on first floor. And then we'll also start installing the RTU curbs and rooftop units so we can load the building. As soon as that's done, we'll start installing exterior framing on level 2. And that really takes everything off from there. Once we have the exterior metal framing done, they'll start on exterior sheathing, which will allow our masonry and metal panels to go, as well as interior framing with all the interior finishes to roll through as well. So that'll kind of follow. That'll be the course of construction for Area A. Really good to see that's going and everything's fitting very well. So they are moving right along. Area B, existing gymnasium. We did previously have the roofing installed there towards the end of 2025. We've been pending weather on them to get there and do the wash down of the roof. I believe, just talking with Pete before this, they were actually on site today, getting basically that roof washed and cleaned and double checking for any leaks, anything like that. So, and an area also in the existing gymnasium, just kind of on the horizon, right around spring break. So towards the end of March, we will start demolition. This will be in the front classrooms. So the west end of the building where we get the classrooms and new hallways and everything there. So we'll start focusing on the rework and renovation work come time of spring break. So also and that will also, the way that is kind of working out with the schedule, Area B will really follow right after Area A, which is the elementary. So those two will kind of be going hand in hand with each other. So once they're done framing in Area A, they'll move into Area B and vice versa, going back and forth. So we can utilize the manpower on site as effectively as we can. Area E, gymnasium. Like I said, this is kind of the same as the last update, but continuing with foundation wall pours. We did have a pour last week. Everything went well there. We are currently prepping. If you've noticed, there's a ramp on the northwest corner. We are prepping the footing across that ramp today, and with plans of pouring that tomorrow. And then the goal of closing that wall in by end of this week. So looking for 2 more pours this week so we can get that process backfilled and then start building up area C and D so we can start concrete footings up in C and D. Also that started today, as we're working on those concrete walls, we have underground plumbing and electrical rough-in going on. So they are starting today with plumbing in the east locker room. So that would be the southeast corner of the basement right now. So they are basically digging in all the underground rough, all the drains, everything there. So as soon as we have all plumbing and electrical underground, we will move to the slab on grade down in Area E, which you'll see that kind of go in phases. We have more than likely will be completed on the east end with the wrestling room and locker room. And then there's 2 different elevations of concrete in the gymnasium. So we'll have a higher slab, and then we'll have the depressed slab where the gym floor goes. So we'll have to pour that more than likely in 2, but we're working with Goldie through that process and actually have a coordination meeting on that coming up as well. So working through those items and trying to get moving as quickly as we can on that. As I mentioned earlier, with the concrete walls, as soon as we have that northwest wall pushed in, we will be able to start the waterproofing that goes on the outside of those concrete walls. So we'll do waterproofing all along those Then we'll have drain tile installation, which is basically your foundation drain that will all tie to a sump pit in the east end. And then as soon as that is complete, wall insulation and backfill really go hand in hand. So as they're building the earthwork up against that wall, we'll be insulating that concrete wall as we move up in that backfill process. But it really will be, as soon as we're backfilled and able to go through there, we'll start structural steel in Area E. So you'll start seeing columns and large trusses that are 128 feet across going up, and really start moving in that area as well. And like I said, that those walls, as soon as those are backfilled, that releases us for all of the building pads, footings, slab on grade, all of that to start working in area C and D, which is cafetorium and classroom wings, office area. So will be great to get that rolling as well. As I mentioned earlier, construction procurement, we do have a very large chunk of all of the materials in hand, or stored. So we are just coordinating deliveries as they are needed. So we're not taking up any more room than we need to. But like I mentioned, we've got 100% mechanical units, hoods, equipment, basically everything mechanical we've got prepped and ready, except for some of the small bits and pieces. Plumbing materials, we've got all toilets, all piping, all roof drains, everything ready to go. And then the big win, we've got electrical, our MDP, our main distribution panel for both VOAG and the main building in as well, which is, sorry, what was that?
You cut out on us.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I was just talking about structural steel. So we do have the gymnasium structural steel along with the joists and decking. We have area C and D, which is the classroom wing and cafetorium. That steel is complete, but is currently being stored off site. The only structural steel that we are currently waiting on is the joist and deck for area C and D, which with everything that's happened, it just pushed in the fabrication line, but will deliver closer to the install this summer. So we are looking good in that department as well. Then just a quick update, third-party testing. We continue to receive test reports and everything's coming back good. And then with Area A structural steel going up, we will start having them come out for structural steel inspections as we're doing all the welds and everything there. So will be a different area of the testing that we have not discussed before. Those next couple items are just a really summary of kind of what's bullet point items of what's coming up. And then I said I'll scroll through photos real quick. If there's any questions, please feel free to let me know. But we were out on site last week and had the drone out there, so we got some good photos of each area. So working on Miss Metal and deck edge in Area A. You can see just kind of a different angle, still continuing to work on Miss Metal. And then if you can see down next to the crane, those are all of our frames for our large penetration. So that'd be where ductwork and large pipe clusters are coming through. So they have structural steel around those. So it's all structurally sound and not having to cut a hole. We already have the structure there for it. Kind of an up close shot there. This is looking from the northeast on top of your existing gymnasium roof, looking towards the south at Area A. So you can see the roof line as well as your high roof, which will have clerestory windows kind of on that second floor elementary, right above the stair, by the stairs in that hallway. Then Area E, this was Thursday morning before the last wall pour. We've got the pump truck and testers setting up, as well as, like I said, wall forms in their latest pour. Same thing, just from the southeast corner. You can kind of see all the walls done to date, as well as the walls being prepped right now. This is Area B roof. So like I said, they're there today, pressure washing and double checking everything in order to wrap that roof up. They are looking, like I said, to the next roof will be Area A plus Area B low roof as soon as we have the new RTUs installed. Just another angle there. And really one that I thought was just cool to include was looking straight down, you can kind of see the entirety of the site. So off to the right, you can see Area A, your existing gymnasium, your basement, gymnasium for Area E, and then everything that will eventually be backfilled, Area C and D. So as we have the drone, we'll continue to take progress photos with that in order to kind of show the progress as we go along. And then just kind of one more higher up showing overall site. So any questions?
Doesn't sound like it.
All right. Thanks all.
Thank you. Okay. Takes us to new business, 086. The building project funds.
I don't have a lot on this. It is in your packets as well, the spreadsheet, but pretty much all of this matches the information that we had to everyone for the budget a year ago in April, and just the costs, the money that we have on hand and things, but just the bond funds, the building, the insurance, and the depreciation on that. We have the depreciation on hand now. As soon as we signed the contracts, we were able to get that from the insurance company. This is the amount of money the insurance CD had made, and this $415,000 was the bond interest earned to date, and was March of last year, and then just what was in Buffalo Strong at that point, and then we had a couple other donations that had gone to the district as well, and so that's where the budget of $40,773,000 came from. And moving up here, these were their guaranteed maximum prices through here, and then we had $100,000 set up for the gym renovation, the playground, there's a tariff amount in there, and then the FF&E was scheduled for like the data, safety, and internet systems, security, all that. Well, we had budgeted for the design portion, utilities, and abatement. I'm just kind of going through these just kind of as a reminder. As we start getting further along, we'll start talking about these areas more. And so I wanted to have a reminder to everybody. what we have, so there's a difference. We with all of this, the budget was around 90,000. I'm not gonna say under budget, that's the wrong word, but lower than what we had for things at that time. So the additional FF&E, that was what we had from the business personal property from the claim. And that was $866,000. Now there's some things in there that we really can't use. There's like the library books, things like they're already like really put towards something and things. So it does have, it's very similar to the building where there's a depreciation on it, and so we have around $600,000 in hand, and there's another $266,000 that we'll have to get once we same type of thing. At the time, through the meetings, through the budget issues, there's also kind of items that were set aside as wish list items. Those were $844,000. That was at the time. We don't know what those are at right now. And then the other part is that I wanted to show everyone is just what we've gained since then. So the insurance, we've gained another $114,000 of interest. That'll come due in May as well. So we'll add to it then. And then the bond funds, we've gained another almost 14,000. So we're up with those two, 828,505. And so that's above and beyond what we like put in here into the budget at the time. That's what we've gained. What's not included in the bond is that was just through December. We have the January number now, and that's about $60,000. So that just gives you an idea, kind of. We started off getting about 100,000 a month, 90 to 100, and now as we've spent some money, and I think interest rates have lowered a little bit too. So that's just where we stand right now. And total cost, Terry asked me that today, so I looked. We're with what we did tonight, what we approved tonight. Make sure I have this right. We are at $12,015,736.78 is what we've spent so far. So that's really all I have about that, unless you have questions.
Any questions? Discussion? Okay. All right. Ready to move on? Okay, let's move to 86B, which is Fast Bridge assessment data.
Okay, so can I get onto the phone, Chandler?
Yes.
Is it vibrate after TV though?
Yes.
Okay. Let me zoom, but don't let me move over. Oh. Sorry. I don't know if I'll be able to zoom in very good. Okay, so this is Fast Bridge data, and it is A reading. So A reading measures a couple different things. We do have some other reading tests that measure more of like your fluency and how fast you read and your accuracy, but this one is more like an overall reading. And I think I told you guys that kindergarten and first grade, they get one test at the beginning of the year and they switch up the test. So, you know, it's apples to oranges on some of it, but district-wide, they fall into four different categories. The bottom category is high risk, so more of the dark pink, and then some risk is the light pink, and then the dark purple is low risk, and the light purple is college pathway. So obviously we want everything above that midline. We can also sort this through like norm, but this one actually kind of gives us the better score of like where we want the kids to be. So it will break it down to how many students are in the high risk, some risk, low risk. So if I go over to kindergarten, at the beginning of the school year we had, I want to make sure I get this right, 13 of our students were high risk of 32 students total. See those there. And then now we have 7 of our students are considered high risk. So that's what we like to see is like obviously this high risk number to shrink, and we always want our ones up above to get better. Same thing with first grade. We moved everybody out of high risk. But so what generally happens too is yes, you get a better score, but was it enough to put you above like the national average of
You
raising
need to
your
get a higher score.
Right. So there's some of that in there. Also, we do test in December. You can run this test into like the end of January, and so we prefer here to just get it done in December. It's already kind of crazy. Testing makes it's really hard to learn a lot of like to get a lot of normal days in for learning, and so with December it's already kind of hard to get a lot of days in for learning, so that's where we put our testing. So technically we could have been in for an extra month and getting an extra material learned, but we like to learn in January and February. So this is second grade. They have one student in high risk, and then same thing, one student again. But we like to see that our some risk has gone down, and our low risk and our college pathway has both grown. So third grade, and I mentioned too, this is generally you can see where some of our different students are with like the resource room and title students, and you can kind of pick out some of who we're targeting on these students. 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade. It's kind of fun to pick it apart if you get a chance. But 8th, 9th, and 10th. And like I said, this is all reading. We can look at these and look at like longitudinal and see what happened in that classroom the year before, but it doesn't track that class, if that makes any sense. It's still tracking like the 8th grade teacher, but it doesn't, the students have moved on. So this is a better graph for us to kind of get a good idea of what the students are doing. So this was reading. Any questions on reading before we go to math?
Does this include all students?
Every student.
Every student?
Every student. All of our, and it includes our students that moved in 2 days before we took the test, and they don't speak English.
That's what my question was gonna be.
Yep.
Even the ones that don't speak English are tested.
Yes.
Does that reflect
Mm-hmm.
on the scores?
Yes. Yes. And so like some of the classrooms, we know who we're targeting and what their skills are and what we need to be working on. And Val can speak to it too. We talk about it at our, like today we had our meetings, and we can sit down and look at our scores and pick apart like which students scored where and what we need to be doing with them. And some of our students last year, they went up like 120 points, and they were still scoring in like the light pink, but they went up 120 points. So like they're growing by leaps and bounds, but still not scoring at like certain levels. But what we can see is that we are making a difference, and what we're doing is what we need to do. So, but we can pinpoint, different students and what we need to be doing with them.
Well, the testing you saw there, or the scores are a little bit skewed in respect. How many students we have in elementary?
Just under 200, like 195.
So we got, 10+% that don't speak English.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we have 20 some students that are on IEPs in the elementary school, and then students that are in title reading and math, and so a lot of these.
Probably not too different percentage wise per class in upper grades as well.
We do these different tests. Not all classrooms take every single one of these, so A math and A reading is easier to look at. Okay, so this is the same thing for math. Kindergarten and first grade. Second, third, and fourth. It is fun to see when you put them together, like the scores in math and reading in second grade, or math and reading in third grade, to see, obviously, guess what curriculum we're looking to change at the elementary school. It would be her reading curriculum, because her math is obviously doing pretty well. So that's what we've had quite a few meetings on lately, is what can we do at the elementary to get our reading scores up. And we've had this one reading curriculum for 6 years now, and we've kind of seen a decline. There's no phonics instruction in it, so we've had to pull in a whole different program. My elementary teachers have to do letters training, which is basically get trained on the science of reading. And so what they put into the different curriculum that we're getting, and just the companies have done a better job of getting a lot of that put in there. So we're excited to try something new. But math is looking pretty good. 5th, 6th, and 7th grade. It's fun to see our high school kids, where they're going, 9th and 10th grade. And 11th and 12th grade. So we're seeing some big jumps. And Jeff can talk to this too, like they have a different incentive program up at the high school to help.
Yeah, we do the MyPath during that seminar period. We've tied the number of days they have to do MyPath to both their FastBridge scoring and there's a placement in the MyPath program as well.
So explain MyPath.
So MyPath is a program. They take an assessment at the beginning of the year, and it identifies areas where they may have gaps in what they should know, and then it designs a curriculum that they set there and they work on in that 30-minute block, depending on where they scored. Either they may do math 2 days a week and reading 2 days a week, or if they're above the benchmark, they're in the blue, and they scored they're within 2 grade levels in the MyPath. We'll lower that frequency to where they don't have to do it like math on Mondays and reading on Wednesdays. So just kind of an extra incentive to give us their best effort on this. In our last round of testing, we also incentivized if you could maintain above that benchmark or show improvement, we've given them free APs on Wednesdays, and with that improvement too, they can earn days that they don't have to do MyPath, like 4 days, 2 days or 4 days, depending on how they score. So
But the question has been too in the past. Are they scoring low because they are scoring low, or is it because they don't really care?
Pushing through it, trying
Yeah,
to get there.
just get it over.
What, you know,
So if we can help give them a reward and incentive of some sort, that we can actually see like where we really are. So, and then it trains them and encourages them to do good on their tests. So when we get to the ACT or the state assessment, hopefully we're trying our best on that also. So
and that's kind of our next, like, okay, how do we help the kids realize, you know, we've done it here, and I think we're getting a good effort from a majority of our kids. I really do. Do the same thing on state assessment. How do we, you know, encourage them to do their best on that? How do we incentivize that? So, you know, what are we going to offer them if they if they improve or if they score in a certain range? Kind of the same type of deal. We'll get something out there for them. So.
And your teachers are being able to access this and then, like you said, change the curriculum if you find something.
This has been really nice because it's Kansas State assessments, we get them 4 months after.
Right.
So this is immediate. We can see them and then help tweak different things that we need to be doing with the kids. So. Yeah.
It's good to see. I think this is what everybody had been, I mean, that was the whole path for all this. You guys doing well.
Yeah, our future goals are all aligned to setting that time to have the time to actually look at the data and actually do something with it instead of, yep, we gave them a test and then we just kept on moving. So this has allowed us to really have the time to look and change things up. So.
And then we've spent time as our faculty looking at how we use the MyPath, how we try to be consistent on, you know, on expectations for the kids, and there's a grade that ties to it too with how they're working on it and things, and just you know, there's a value there if they're willing to put into it. You know, with the incentive piece, I had a student who was frustrated they were doing it 2 days a week. I know I should be doing this one 2 days a week, but I really feel like, how do I fix that? I said, do your MyPath, and next time you take FastBridge, your score will go up and your frequency should come down.
Oh.
You know, it kind of clicked for him. Oh, that's the point of this. It's not a punishment.
Yeah.
We're trying to fill in those gaps for him.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's all been good. You can look at different ones, but they test different things, and some of the students, once we get past a certain level, not all students have to take all of them. These are the students that scored below, and so I think we're having them test again to see if we can get them up. And so your upper students aren't testing on some of these tests, so that's why we don't show all the tests, because not all the students take them all. So. Any other questions? And I can always run you a report too if you're curious on numbers of like how many are falling in different places, but just let me know.
And it is kind of fun or interesting to look, like your graph looks different, but you look at the individual kid's score, and it might just be a few points different, very little difference, and it dropped them from college pathway to that some risk, or the other way around. You know, they're dancing that line, and so it is nice. You can go in there and look at each individual kid and so.
Okay. Good deal. Looks good. Okay, we move to 087 admin reports.
Right, just so everyone's aware, Jeff, can you help me on what's wrong with the red bus, but the injectors?
So I believe it's the same thing we had here a year and a half ago. The lift pump or if there's an oil pump hooked to that lift pump, but that's gone out again, and they found metal where they don't want to find metal, and they're gonna have to put injectors in the darn thing again.
So the estimate's around $13,000 again for that. So,
Dave was actually driving it over to, was that wherever in Colby, and then we hadn't had the problem, hadn't had the loss of power, and because it had an electrical issue, he's driving it over there, and on the way over there is when it started doing that. So I mean, it was just kind of boom, here this problem's reared its head again. So
I have, I don't know that we're a place to take bids yet or anything like that, but I have been looking around today at some different opportunities, I guess, seeing what's out there, and I think it's just gonna be an ongoing discussion. Both of them have had quite a few issues, and just, I know the red one is, it's 22 years old now. So,
And does it still have is it the same rule of 25 years and you can't?
not on activity.
Not on activity, just
yeah,
the route buses.
just the route buses.
That's, the red one's the 2004.
Yeah.
And the white one is the 2020.
Yeah, because it's 2011. All right. My other item is just a legislative update.
Sure.
Oops, I'm sorry. There's just the legislators are in the middle of their session now, and there's some different laws being introduced. This is a time of the year where it's really hard to see what'll end up actually making into law and what will get pushed off to another year or not or die. It's just kind of some things. I'll do my best. I missed the last meeting on some of these, so I may not know the full extent here, but just 2589 prohibiting the Secretary for Children and Families from accepting anonymous reports of child abuse or neglect, and requiring the Secretary to inform anonymous reporters of such prohibition and other pertinent information regarding reports of child abuse and neglect, and allowing law enforcement agencies to accept anonymous reports. That one could be good or bad. I don't know.
So they're gonna let the law enforcement agencies accept anonymous, but not the DCF.
Yeah, and I
That's the way I'm
know.
understanding that.
That's the way I understood it.
I mean,
Interesting.
yeah, I don't know why that one would be. Why we would want that. Requiring the state board, House Bill 2618, requiring the State Board of Education report to the legislature on federal monies that are received by the state. House Bill 2631, increasing the extent of property tax exemption from the statewide school levy for residential property. I think that's moving it from, if it's 75,000 to 120,000 or something. House Bill 2637, requiring eligible boards of education to consider participation in the community eligibility provision, providing a financial hardship exception from such participation, and requiring the State Department of Education to assist school districts seeking such participation. 2656, establishing the No Kid Hungry in Schools program that reimburse school districts for the cost of providing certain meals to students attending public school. I believe this is one we really need to watch. They're kind of, honestly, there's a bait and switch to it. They're
Try and use this to complete their 100% funding again.
well, what they're doing is they don't want to pay for at-risk funding, which is determined by free students. And there's or free meal or free lunches. And so there was an audit. A certain percentage of the applications were used for the audit, and there was a number that didn't meet the requirements. We are obligated by federal requirements to do 3% or 6% to verify. Yeah,
Ooh.
it's 3 or 6%.
It usually comes out to be, I have to verify like 2 or 3 applications, so.
But now what they want to do is have us verify all of them, which is gonna, that means Emily and the secretaries, we may have to do enrollment earlier, honestly, to give them all time to go through these.
Like pulling teeth just to get free.
Yeah. And honestly, it's so that we don't have as many at-risk students for that. Now, the other bait part of it is now they're saying the state will fund those who are reduced lunch, they'll fund their lunches, which is a very small, I mean, it's not a huge percentage. So that's one, I don't know if it sounds like it's that bill, that's one that's going, maybe yeah, the 2656. That's just one we need to really watch out for. House Bill 2660, making concerning appropriations for the State Board of Regents for the Kansas Blueprint for Literacy, expanding the Every Child Can Read Act, reporting requirements, and amending the Blueprint for Literacy to provide certain requirements for the State Board of Ed, the State Board of Regents, and school districts with regard to literacy education reporting. So I'm guessing that's going to be some more reporting for us. 2663, modifying the requirements for student cohorts, achievement goals for school district accountability plans. 2671, AI technology. That'll be interesting to watch. 2672, removing certain terms relating to individuals with intellectual disabilities. 2673, establishing the Positive Learning Environment Act, provide for certain rights for teachers and requires school districts to adopt school management plans to address behavioral infractions by students. I'll be honest, this is one that gets really sticky with federal laws. Just with me reading, I don't know a lot about what they're wanting, but it does get really sticky if a student has behavior on their IEP. It's hard to understand it, but that could get really sticky federally. Let's see here. 2680, renaming the tax credit for low-income student scholarships program for Kansas K-12 scholarship program, expanding eligibility under the program. That's a voucher bill. 2692, establishing standards of conduct for ICE agents.
Who in hell presented this bill?
The ICE one?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
2706 also.
I don't know. I'll go and look. I can figure that out.
Well, I got a feeling who presented it.
Let's see here. Senate Bill 420, enacting the Holocaust Education Act to require school districts to provide instruction on the Holocaust education and awareness as part of social studies curriculum for students grades 6 through 12. Senate Bill 421, enacting the Safeguarding Personal Expression of K-12 Schools Act to authorize student clubs and organizations to engage in certain speech or expression at school, providing civil cause of actions for violations of the act. I guess that might have to do with the ICE protests as well, is what I'm guessing. Senate Bill 424 enacting the Student Secular Bill of Rights to establish statutory protections against religious coercion and discrimination in public schools. Senate Bill 438, there was one just like that. So there's a House bill and Senate bill. Senate Bill 440, authorizing a special education pilot that provides provisional accreditation to a private entity for the purpose of operating a special education teacher training program. It'll be interesting to learn about that one. And then Senate Bill 458, requiring state assessment performance levels and cut scores to be based on the 2024 performance and levels and cut scores. That's in regards, there's the
change they made.
Yeah, they're saying but they're different tests, so I think that's the biggest issue.
What are they?
They're trying to claim that they're easier. The testing was easier. So, one thing to watch, the SPED funding, is it's looking like maybe it's $1 million increase, which we're getting way lower percentage wise. It's gonna be in the low 60s even with that for next year. And then also what I'm seeing with a lot of these are a lot of bills in regards to the legislator telling the school board what to do and things. So it's just very interesting. I don't know what'll come out of it at this point. I've followed this long enough to know there's things that get that are put out there now that make me worry a lot, and then nothing really comes of it. So, or they're improved, and so we'll just have to see where they go. One thing that is out there again is changing the start of school till after Labor Day and things. So we'll just have to see what comes of it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So they're gonna let them run it through July then, or?
Go at least till after Labor Day. I mean, through May. We did that.
Yeah.
That's what it was when we were younger, wasn't it? We're pretty close. Like it had to be.
Yeah, honestly on that, we have to go how many days we have to go.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know.
it's really.
That's what I say. It's gonna run.
I honestly
3
think
weeks
we'd be better learning at the beginning when we start than what we will at the end, and I don't know.
They're gonna be
But
ready to get out. Even worse.
Especially out in this area.
Okay. You good?
Mhm.
Everybody good?
Like areas like this. I need to specify this area. Areas like this.
Mr. Stevenson.
Okay. Had a few teachers share some stuff. Mrs. Vapp and Coach B's freshman PE classes. The health portion of it, they're currently completing CPR with Megan Rippey. And with this, the freshmen will become certified when they finish with this course. And it sounds like they're getting ready to do the actual dummy live testing. Mannequins, there you go.
We're not testing the dummies.
I guess I need to go down there.
Mrs. Klein's 7th grade Rollins County history class. They took field trips to see the first homestead in Rollins County, the Augusta and Ella Bloom homestead, and then stagecoach number 17. They've also looked at old newspapers digitally and microfilm at the Atwood City Library. And then Creative Arts Club will be delivering Valentinograms this Thursday. So exciting. And that's all they shared with me. I'm sure there's stuff I'm missing that I should be reporting, but
Really short too. We have the 100th day of school on Tuesday, February 3rd. It's always fun. Kindergarten does a lot of different activities with counting 100 things, and they're always busy. We had spring pictures at the elementary school, and the junior high and high school came on down and took pictures.
Friday.
Wednesday?
Oh, I don't know.
So we made it work. Mr. Steiger lends us his gym to take pictures in, so it's a group effort. Fourth grade, they have made some Valentines to take up to the Good Sam this week. We had our staff in service today, went over the scores and readjusted groups for learning new skills. And then the curriculum committee met, and we've gone over CKLA's Amplify is one of the reading curriculums into reading, My View Literacy, Wit and Wisdom, and Wonders. So they've tried out 5 different curriculum and kind of trying to hone in on what they like. So a lot of time and effort put into that. So that's all. It's been busy, but not. We've had a lot of learning happening, so it's good.
I still remember my 100th day of kindergarten. We had to bring an item to school.
An item.
I remember what I brought.
And then we had the
What was it?
101st birthday.
Little cows.
You had 100 cows, or just one?
Yeah, no, little.
Like the actual.
Yeah, the little toy
We
cow.
didn't have 100 cows out in the soft playground.
Yeah.
It's a lot of cows, man.
We so then they celebrate the 100th day, but then they also celebrate the 101st day with like the 101 Dalmatians, and we have Pip is one of the little stuffed animals in kindergarten, and so they give Pip a birthday, and you know.
Kindergarten's always a fun time.
It's good. It's good places to be.
I don't think we celebrated the 100th day.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
You guys were spoiled.
It's my favorite
Celebrated
day.
everything.
Never had a day better.
I celebrated the 100th time I got sent to the office.
Today's the day.
Today, you get your certificate. Okay, we'll keep moving on. We've got 3 executive sessions. A is non-elected personnel, B is negotiations, and C, are you still wanting to do that? Or do you want to wait? There's
We have 6 of us.
Yeah.
Now.
Okay.
So
All right.
I mean, we can talk if we want to or not.
Okay, A, non-elected personnel. How long and who?
15 minutes. If we want to have Emily say first, we can get that one done first. Or that part of it done first.
Okay, how much would you say?
15
With Emily?
with Emily.
The
Board and admin.
Madam President, I'll move to go into executive session for non-elected personnel for 15 minutes with board and admin and Emily.
Second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor? All opposed?
You're
Yeah,
good.
idler down to
Okay.
about 45.
Back in open session. Do you want action after each executive or just go 1, 2, 3 and then do them all, do any action at the end?
If I'm good, whatever.
You want, that's the way I always, otherwise we forget.
Yes.
Short-term memory loss here. Okay, is there,
I'd like to make a motion that we hire Kenny Chartier and Marilyn Holub as substitute bus drivers.
I'll second.
okay, it's been moved and seconded to hire Kenny Chartier and Marilyn Holub as substitute bus drivers. All in favor? All opposed? Okay. We have executive session for negotiations. 5 minutos. Is there a motion? With who? Board and admin.
We will go into executive session with board and admin for 5 minutes.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried.
You're good to go.
All right, back in open session. There's no action on executive session. We have one last executive session. Our non-elected personnel principles, evaluations.
Take it around.
It's been great, guys. Thank
See you later.
How are you going?
Don't eat your cheeseburger all at once now.
10 or 15 minutes.
A lot of snacks in there.
That's not very decisive.
15 minutes in.
10?
10, that'll work too.
All right, we'll go into executive session with Board and Eric for 10 minutes for principal evaluations.
I second it.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded and third. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Good.
Okay, we're back in open session. We need to go back into executive session for 35 minutes.
I thought we were going home.
Might have been different if they'd have brought an extra shirt.
There's more in there.
Yeah, where's that? Did you not bring anything?
I ate them
Just
all.
kidding.
I'm nervous.
He's eating his feelings.
I move to extend the contracts of both principals through the 2027-28 school year.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor? All opposed?
So are you opposed?
No.
Okay.
You messed up that really.
She's quick.
All right.
Get us out of there.
Terry, come on.
You notice we only got 1 second
Let's go,
on it
Terry.
instead of 2 or 3.
How about we adjourn for the evening?
Okay, there's a motion to adjourn.
A second.
Second? All in favor? All opposed?